Okay, hi, hello. So I thought it would be wise to give a little bit of an update. So, a few of you have mentioned that obviously I've changed the name of my channel. So, I'm going to explain why I've done that. And people are also asking what the plans are for P now she's home. So, basically, obviously, after realizing that P was coming home, I decided that I wasn't going to put any pressure on myself with her, like I did last year. I do still want to event, but my aim now is just to go out and do bits of everything and enjoy her. Obviously, we still want to improve when we go out and about. We would still love to get out eventing, but because I'm now having it like not being my main focus, that is why I changed the name of the channel. Sadly, Melissa Equestrian or Equestrian Melissa wasn't available, so it's Melissa Emma, which is obviously surname, middle name. So Melissa Emma Equestrian, because it's still obviously all equestrian. It's just not going to be purely focusing on getting out eventing. However, it isn't saying that we're not going to. I am still obviously the same person that likes to aim for something and just go out and enjoy doing it. I'm not massively competitive in that sense, but I do like to have something to focus towards. So we have a few things in mind. And basically, I have joined a local riding club. There's a few of them around me. There is quite a few of them, and there's also just been a brand new one start, which would have been an ideal thing to maybe go for, because then maybe would have got a chance to maybe be in one of their teams or something like that. But I've ended up going with a different one, mainly because they hold most of their clinics and shows at a local arena to me, which I can hack to. So it means that I can get to a bit more, and obviously that's quite an incentive. So yeah, I went with a different one. It's well established, and I think their shows are quite small, which will also help in a way as well, because I obviously want to try and get P used to being in that sort of atmosphere, but without blowing her mind and having her worried about anything. Obviously, we already know she's a good girl, but she does worry a bit when there is noises of horses running behind her. So we just want to try and get used to that being a little bit easier for her. But yeah, there is a few plans in place, but I have a few priorities in place first before we even think about that. I haven't actually ridden her since she came home. Well, that's a lie, sorry. I rode her from one stable yard to another, bareback, because I don't have a saddle, and there was no way I was walking all that way, not with my arthritic feet. And she was good as gold, absolutely good as gold. Just honestly, like, my heart probably burst with pride with her. She's just so good. So yeah, she'd been with this other lady, having some schooling and doing pleasure rides and stuff. So she's relatively fit. And then she came to the other yard. Because we got her in a rush, I didn't get a chance to get the strangles test done with her while she was elsewhere. So she could move straight to the yard that I was taking her to. So she had to go to another one in between that didn't require a strangles test, sorry. And she just went to a local yard and then had her strangles test, and I hacked her over on Friday when that came back perfectly clear. And yeah, so we're now where we are meant to be. It's where I had her last year, although I think it was about this time last year I moved her, but everything's different there now as well. The main problem for me was the hacking, because there's a lot of cars come fast around the corners, and P didn't stand still, but her standing still massively improved at the other place that we went to. And on the hack over, I noticed that it's still there. She's good as long as I have her stand still, not too long, and then let her sort of creep forward. We can pass cars, we can have them passing us if we're standing in a passing place sort of thing. So yeah, she's super for that, so I'm not too worried about that anymore, and it kind of just is what it is as well. So I'm I'm over the moon that she's still got, well, she's still improving with her standing still, and we'll obviously carry on working with that. But also the field that she went into in the summer last year, it was all just rutted and she lost shoes straight away. And when I went in to find it, literally the holes that the horses had left from running around were like knee deep. So I panicked and I was like, no, she can't go out in that field. But it's the other way around now. They got their other field back. That was the other field that had been left for a few years. So their fields have now swapped around. And the summer field is what you guys would have seen as their winter field, the one where she went and rolled in the big puddle like a big hippo, the smaller one, and then the other side is now the winter one. So, it's going to get rutty in that anyway, but that's how it always had been and what I was used to. So I got the shock of my life when that one was a summer field, and it was just soft and firm at the same time. So it just made me panic that she was just going to break a leg or something. So yeah, we're all good. We're all happy with that. And there's a few new mares which are out all the time as well in the summer, because in the past I've had to have my mares in because there's not been anything else out in the field. Not that P would be bothered, because she is a loner. She likes to stay out by herself. She doesn't care. But yeah, I'm not obviously having to be up there and bring her in first thing in the morning, which is great at the moment because the little toddler is a nightmare and the school run is a task and a half. But never mind, we'll not go into that. But yes, so the few things, obviously, like I'm saying, she has a dental on Wednesday this week. Videoing this on Monday. I'll probably put it straight out. So she's got a dental on Wednesday because sadly it was overdue, but they couldn't fit it in last week with her strangles test, and she got a vaccination. I had to get her vaccinations restarted as well, which had just literally lapsed by a couple of days, which I was devastated about. So we obviously got that booked in straight away, and then I have her saddle arriving any day, and the saddle fitter is coming on the 10th. I'm going to carry on doing some groundwork, and I may have a couple of rides in the saddle depending on what I think it looks like. I mean, I'm okay in a sense of I know that really doesn't fit, or it is a very near fit and she'll be okay for a few rides sort of thing. And then once the saddle is fitted, fingers crossed, fingers, everything crossed, toes, whatever you can cross, that it works for her. Otherwise we have to get one made to measure. And although this saddle fitter can have them made to measure a lot cheaper, it's actually a saddle company saddle that she would get made to measure, which is perfect because I love those saddles. It's still a bit more money than what I've paid for the saddle that is coming, which is a Thorogood Compact GP. So it's initially meant to be a 16.5 along the panels, which is what she needs, and then it's got a seat that provides just a bit more basically for me. So yeah, fingers crossed that all fits, and then we can crack on. I have like I've just mentioned, the riding club, they have show jumping on the 20th of July, and I think I'll pop over for that if all be in well, because it'd be nice to see how we are going. Obviously I'll have a little jump on her at home, but I just sort of want to try, obviously with no expectations, but to try and sort of pick up where we left off, because it's not like we were jumping massive or anything. We're still very low and working through things. So I've got the bitless bridle back. and I will only be jumping her in that. She was very, very fussy with her new owners, with the bit, and they never had her in the same bit that I suggested for her. So I'm not sure what she's going to be like in the mouth, because they obviously mentioned that she's very, very sensitive. So I don't know how she's been going, but yeah, she's got the bitless for jumping and hacking, and I have a comfy barrel egg butt which I had for Birdie, which I'm going to put in for the time being and hope she's okay. But if not, then I'll obviously invest in the loose ring version for her. But I would also love to try and get her out to like a Fitbitten clinic sort of thing, and get something that seems right for her with someone who has the experience and the knowledge. But the expert bits rarely come this far, so hopefully we can get some people together and actually get them to come this far. But on a whole, because I've now joined a riding club, I am just going to sort of stick to riding club sort of activities for the time being. We do have a few hunter trials that are in the area, and one of them is in the place that I went with her last, and I felt really confident with her there. So if I can maybe get her in for some schooling before I had my operation date got changed, as I realised it was smack bam at the start of the holidays for the kids. So it's now when they go back to school, so I've got that very early September, and the hunter trial is October. I think it's usually like halfway through, maybe it's just early October. So I'm hoping that my hand will be recovered enough for me to be riding, still have a fit enough for then. I'm only going to be sort of out of real action where you're not meant to use it or so for like the first week, I think. And then they just say gradually use it and keep on going. Fingers crossed. I sort of been told loads of different recovery periods, so I'm going with the better one and hoping that is the way it's going to be. So yeah, if I can get our schooling beforehand and we have a good run, then I may well enter the hunter trial. I might even enter the pairs because my friend's quite interested in doing that, so it could be a good little run that way. But yeah, I'm just going to have a play of everything. Obviously, I'm going to be sticking to dressage, show jumping and cross country in a sense to still be working towards eventing. But it is just one of those things where if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And if we maybe start to enjoy one phase more than another, we might just go down that route for a little bit. And I know that there's like qualifiers you can do with the riding club and part of teams, but you can do it individually as well. So we might try and maybe aim for something like that, because last year, before I sold her, the plan for this year, as I'd already started at the end of last year, was the dressage, and it was the retraining of racehorses championships I was aiming towards. So you just had to get so many points or something, but they've obviously now closed and we've missed out on that one, and we only had the one test submitted. So we definitely didn't have enough points to go ahead for the championships. But there's also a few other things coming up for the ROR, so maybe popping into something like that. But one thing for sure is you will not find me doing any showing, and she wouldn't be able to do the showing anyway because she's got too many imperfections, bless her. She's perfect in every way, but yeah, if you look at her overall, she's got a lot of bits and bobs, well, lumps and bumps, and as you do. So yeah, I'm absolutely besotted with her, and I mean I always have been, but I just totally talked myself out of it being the right thing for me, and it was the right thing for her. But you know what, it obviously wasn't meant to be, because timing wise everything all came together right at the smack bam times. You know, I just sold Bertie, and oh yes, I was having a break. But, you know, she wasn't going to be coming for sale really, and yeah, she's home. So we're just going to have fun. And if you would like to carry on watching our journey, then please do like and subscribe. Melissa Emma Equestrian. That's going to take something to get used to. And I'm also on Instagram, so I'm going to start posting on Instagram a lot more. I cleared my Instagram, so I've sort of started again. But yeah, we will definitely be doing plenty of bits and bobs. Whether it's anything that excites you or not, I am just going with the flow. So I'll pop up whatever we end up doing. I will get some more hacking videos because I know there's some followers out there that love those. And she actually has 4 shoes on now, so you definitely hear the clip clopping. And going forward, there'll just be a lot of me and Pete to see. Take care.